So God begins to speak to us in Proverbs, the 20th chapter, the 7th verse. It says, the righteous man walks in his integrity. His children are blessed after him. It's very important that you are creating a spiritual legacy of faith to your child, to your daughter. How you celebrate, how you worship is the same way that your child will worship. Oh, I'm teaching today. How you worship and how you live is the same way. When you are worshiping God, you are giving them a spiritual legacy. And so your children will do what you do. They will mimic and they will praise God the way you praise God. And so it's important for you to worship God with all your heart. And this is what David was saying. He says, I will extol you, my God and King, and bless your name forever and ever. Every day I will bless you. I mean, you got to understand. He says, every single day I will bless you. Great is the Lord and greatly to be praised. Our generation shall commit your words. Why? Because we passed it down. So our children will worship like we will worship. How you pray is how they will pray. They will hear you speak of God's great and mighty acts, and they will pray just like you pray. That they will assemble and do everything that you do. They need to know your struggles. If we only tell them our positives, if we only tell them that we've been perfect all our life, if they only believe that, it makes it more challenging. Some of you today have more girlfriends than you did when you was at 18 because you done changed the story. You only want to tell the story that you believe. The older you get, the more points you score. The older you get, the more girlfriends you had. That devil is a liar. You know, didn't nobody want you then. No, I'm telling you. I'm only teasing. I'm just playing. And so God speaks to us. So how you pray, they will pray. They will need to know your struggles. They will need to know that money doesn't grow on trees, that we got to teach them about the importance of working. If you won't work, then you can't eat. We got to teach them the struggles of life. We got to tell them, I trust God no matter what I'm going through. When I'm going through my hard time, they understand how it is to serve God in my difficult times. I was telling my boys, when my wife lost her job, I said, we're going to keep tithing like we never had before. Why? Because we trust God. I know it doesn't seem fair that we lost a job. We've been committed, we've been faithful, but God is going to bless us. And I told them there's a struggle. I said, so make sure when you go in the room, you turn off all your lights. What did they do? So I was teaching them about that every day is not going to feel like a day of sunshine, but God will never cause us to lack. He says, I will supply every need according to his riches and glory. So you got to teach your children, even in your struggle, in your difficult times, how to love God. And then when God works out the situation, say, I showed you what God would do. You begin to show them in the midst of a struggle, in the midst of a chaotic moment, that you can tell them that God will never fail us, that I'm going to praise God in the good and the bad, whether happy or sad. You got to be able to show your child how to worship God.